All right, this is number 16 through 20 on ACT practice test 1 on the math section. All right, the sum of three positive integers is 180, and the ratio of the integers is 5 to 3 to 2. What is the value of the smallest of the integers? Okay, so when you're looking at ratios, so for future reference, I always tell my students that when you see a ratio, think two things: either think fraction or you think total. So in this case, we're going to look at total. So the total of the parts of the ratio will equal, let me say it. The sum of the parts of the ratio will equal the total. There we go. So 5x plus 3x plus 2x equals 180. All right. Combine like terms. That should be 10x equals 180. Divide both sides by 10. X equals 18. This is not your answer. You said what's the value of the smallest integer? The smallest integer was 2x. So it's 2 times 18. 36. All right. Like I said in other videos, if you need to take notes, take a second, pause it. All right. Give myself a little room. Okay. Which of the following expressions is equivalent to the quantity? So whenever I say the quantity, that's the quantities mean parentheses. So you have the quantity x squared minus y squared minus the quantity 6x squared plus 4xy minus y squared. So I'm going to rewrite this. Not even rewrite, I'm just going to distribute this negative sign to everything. So I have x squared minus y squared minus 6x squared minus 4xy, and then minus a negative y squared, so two negatives make a positive, plus y squared. All right, let's see. So how many x squared terms do I have? I got these two. X squared minus 6x squared, so it's understood one right there. 1 minus 6 is negative 5x squared. Okay. We got the y squared terms, negative 1y squared, positive 1y squared, those cancel. And then we just have negative 4xy or minus 4xy. I think that's A. Yeah. Cool. Okay. So we got imaginary numbers. So given that I equals square root of negative 1, what is square root of 9 plus the square root of negative 16? Okay. So I'm not trying to go into a whole lesson on imaginary numbers in this video, but the only time you'll have I is when you're square rooting a negative number. Okay. So square root of 9, put that in calculator, we know that's 3. Cool. So if the square root of 16 is 4, the square root of negative 16 is 4i. Let's see, so that's going to be plus 4i. Okay, so I guess I will go into a small lesson. So this right here, square root of negative 16, that's the same, that's just like saying the square, oh, it's already hard enough to draw on here. That's just like saying the square root of -1 times the square root of 16. So the square root of 16, that's your 4. The square root of -1, that's your I. What's the answer? J. All right, on to number 19. The first 5 terms of an arithmetic sequence are 7, 21, 35, 49, and 63. Let T sub n represent the nth term of the sequence. What is the value of T sub 25? That just means what's the value of the 25th term. Okay, so arithmetic, so sequence means pattern. Arithmetic means you're adding or subtracting the same number. So you're adding 14 each time. So that's so you're adding 14 each time. So bear with me when I say this. So you could add 14 until you get to the 25th term. That's fine. That's a long way, but that's fine. So what I tell my students, so you have the first term and you go into the 25th term. So that means you have to go up 24 times. So you have to add 14 24 times. So what I tell my students is to do 14 times 24. And that's going to equal, 1 second. $14 times 24. So that's going to be 336. But don't forget about your first term. You have to add that 7. So 336 plus 7, that equals, I think, 343. Yes, so the answer is B. All right, number 20. At a certain time of day, a flagpole casts a 9-foot long shadow, and a nearby 4-foot tall fence post casts a 2.4-foot long shadow. Given that both the flagpole and the fence post are vertical and on ground level, what is the height in feet of the flagpole? All right, so we need to set up 2 fractions. So we have we'll call this one, this can be the flagpole fraction. So we got, it's a 9 feet long shadow, and we don't know how tall the flagpole is. And then we have a fence post that's 4 feet tall and casts a 2.4-foot long shadow. All right, so it doesn't matter if the shadow goes on top or the height goes on top, just as long as shadow is across from shadow and height is across from height. So we're going to cross multiply. So 9 times 4 is 36. 2.4 times x is 2.4x. I'm going to divide both sides by 2.4. 36 divided by 2.4 is 15. All right. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And catch me in the next video where we're going to be working out problems 21 through 25. See you there.